I think that the racial overtone, if America had not highlighted Britain, American, if they had not highlighted so much that race being a determinant, then I really think we would look at that, and it would not be so offensive to understand that the foundations of humanity, the foundation of civilization, all that kind of stuff comes from Africa. But we resist that as America because it would indicate a degree of intelligence that we don't want to assign and civilization that we don't want to assign to Africa. But I think the concern I have for it is to racialize identity in Christ.
Well, and I agree with that. And so and that's why I say don't turn your skin color into an idol.
Hmm. And
Um,
just
so
to say, historically, to say that Jews, that there are Black Jews, really, it's harder for me to believe that there were white Jews than it is for the white Black Jews when you look at the full scope of things.
and I
But
don't when we look at the full scope of things, it tells us that, for instance, Samson had locks. It
mhm,
tells us that, and I think Solomon had locks. I mean, it tells us certain things. Okay.
mhm,
Um, so I can say with pretty much certainty that they were not European
right, right,
and they didn't have
and
European features. Okay, and I can say, but I've argued this with my brothers and sisters who have argued that African Americans are the lost tribe of whatever, and
mhm,
the real Hebrews and all that kind of stuff. And I
mhm,
said, but they call themselves Christian. And I
mhm.
always say this: be careful, because in Christ there's neither Jew nor Greek, nor
Right,
male nor
right.
female. And so therefore, what difference does it make when you're in Christ? You certain
That's the
fact.
point of,
What
yeah, that's
difference
my
does it
point
make?
of the church. The church, that's not our argument. Like, it's great historical research and all that kind of stuff, whatever. But
Yeah, but
um now
but
the I do I do think that like to whitewash everything. Like my, when we watch the Ten Commandments,
hmm
I think it's my Uncle Charles was like, "Man, y'all in there watching this stuff." He said, "How you gonna have a black king? How the Pharaoh gonna be white? Why is Moses?" I mean, he had a big problem with the whole display, but I think we are sort of, say, hypnotized by the subconscious images that are fully whitewashed, and
yeah,
so.
uh, and that's where I say that we participate in our own in
Mhm.
white supremacy and white nationalism as well as they do, and
uh,
because we have bought into it in some respects of an inferiority complex but we're really not. Um,
and 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 I would say that, so Tyler Perry has his own studio, and I really thought it would demonstrate some things that would be beneficial for us to be able to see, but most of it's gossip and homosexuality.
yeah, because
Oprah has her opportunity to have a network, but she used it to demonize famous Black people more than anything.
yeah, and so that's a part of white supremacy, and I
But I'm
understand that it
wondering if
is,
that's
but they're not
the
Christian.
permission, the permission.
Yeah,
But even if it wasn't, even if you're not Christian, I wonder if permission, because the third person that was going to do that was, whether he would have been the second, was Bill Cosby. But I don't know if Bill Cosby would have bought into, or to be in the club. I think Oprah had to buy into sort of the shadow of white supremacy.
yeah, and I don't think that Bill Cosby was buying into the shadow of white supremacy. Now he
Exactly.
has his own personal issues now,
Hmm.
but he wasn't buying into the shadow of white supremacy, and that
Right,
could have
and
been a part of it.
I would say that, his personal issues. Not that I endorse them or anything else, but I think they were not uncommon
Yeah, and
in that
that's
profession. Right.
and there's a tragedy of that profession, because that profession and the demonic influence of that profession it permeates through the whole concept. Even and where I was basically over the last few years caught off guard over the homosexual culture in the rap game.
Yeah.
I was just blown away at the blatant. I would have never suspected. So that culture is, and that's just a sickness. That's just a sickness in and of itself.